Hi everyone. I'm Josh Bardsley. I'm the chairman of the Yes Club. That's the Young Entrepreneur Smart Start program with the ActionCOACH Foundation. I'm very lucky to have with me today the founder of ActionCOACH. So, how's it going, Brad?
Very well, thanks. It's good to be on here. And the Foundation's Yes program is firing. Lots of young entrepreneurs doing
It's
great
firing.
things, and good to see. I as we started this whole thing, can you come out of school and give people jobs rather than get a job? That's my theory, anyway.
Exactly. And with the world in its current situation, I think there's no better time to get a grip of your own stuff and who you can be and how you can be an employer and how you can really make some success of yourself. So
Yeah,
that's the
I
goal.
remember when I was young, I didn't want to work for someone else. And everyone thought I was weird because it was like, oh, I want to have my own business. I want to do my own thing. I was always doing some sort of a side hustle. Now that's the term. It wasn't a term back then, but always had something to make money going on and always trying to do it and always trying to learn. But everyone thought I was kind of weird for doing that stuff. I don't know. Maybe I was
I think
weird, but here I am today. So maybe I'm not that weird.
I was gonna say, so that's kind of brings me into the first kind of question is like how would you describe your start? So how would you describe the start of your career and how it will happen for you?
Yeah, look, I was like most people. I thought, you got to get a job, you got to do that. And I got part-time jobs and all that thing because that's what everyone told me I had to do. I was doing things to make money and I was making more money doing things that were just trading and doing businessy type things. But everyone said, you got to get a job. And it wasn't until I think I was 16. I already had a job from about 15 onwards. So I was 16 and I won this Rotary Youth program, kind of
Hmm.
like our Yes program, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They taught me how to be a success. They taught me how to go out there and do all those things. And it just said to me, I don't need to work for someone else. I can have my own thing. I can build my own business instead. I don't need to go down that road of, doing all the things. Now, I still did go to college, but,
Hmm.
that was, I think that was a good thing, though, because I learned accounting, which every business needs accounting. But yeah, all the time I had my own business or other jobs or other things, learning business and stuff. I think when I was 16, learning that stuff, though, gave me the direction to say, I have the confidence to do this stuff.
I think you're right. I mean, like I went to college and did law, and the whole time I ran a little operation from my room and paid. Made more money than everyone in my house combined.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, they all used to call me Budget Bardsley because I still wouldn't spend a penny of it. But at the same time, it was something that I didn't. It's just something that I think is such an important thing is people always right now the question is, oh, do I go to college or do I not go to college? I think you're trying not to overcomplicate it. You can go to college and learn some really key skills for yourself. I know law,
Hmm.
accounting, those kind of things are super good for business, but at the same time that doesn't mean you can't run a business at the same
Uh,
time.
it, it's not
Yeah,
an either or.
yeah, it's
I've
like
always taught life's an and. You can have that and that and that and that. Life is an and. Um, how old were you when you first came to business type or success type events and seminars?
I think my first one, I was 18. I came to BEF in Brighton to see
Hmm.
you guys. And I was literally just started uni. And at that point, I was like, shit, like I need to. Do I even go back to uni after this? Like, but and I was,
It's a tough question. And also, I think what makes it even harder is that people try and make you decide what you want to do for your whole life. And it's like, dude, I'm going to have
uh,
5 or 6 careers in my life. I don't need to decide my whole life. I just want to decide the next few years, the next 5 or 10 years type thing.
yeah. So when you kind of, I think you were first started going to business events and learning, and that threw me into a different world. That blew up my knowledge from running little side hustles and making money buying and selling things that I was doing for since I was like 12 through to 18, which I think everyone kind of has that bug to do. But getting into the event space and actually going to things and learning and putting myself through a program just blew my mind. When did
Yeah.
you when did you first kind of make the switch from you know young entrepreneur side hustle thing to, right, I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
businessman now, this is what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, I think I was 20 when I really made the decision to go into business myself. I was still at university, although I went part time at university because I still wanted to finish the degree. but I wanted to be full-time in doing things that made real money type thing. And it was interesting, you know, at those days, everyone, and you talk about it, I remember as a young man,
Got a little bit of a buzz here.
and doing those funny things, I was doing all the stuff that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's when at 20 years old, you decide to be in business for yourself. I remember telling my mom, and I already had a very good job actually at the time. I was making almost 100 grand a year as a 20-year-old, hadn't finished my degree, doing all that stuff. And it was like, and she looked at me, she goes, you're doing
crazy?
what? Yeah, she literally did. And I turned to my mom, and because I don't know about you, but my mom always used to say to me things like, well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And so
Yeah.
she was putting it all on this thing about how it was going to fail and everything. I said to her, I said, Mom, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Oof.
So she literally didn't talk to me for 2 months. But you know,
I think it's the main question for me was like, are you ready? Like, are you ready to do that? And I was like, I don't know, but you know what? I feel like this is the thing I need to do. So what you know, you said you went into business for the first time at like 20. What kind of was like your first real, or anyone can say, what was your like first real business project?
Yeah. Well, let's go back a few steps, right? Because I think the lead up to that was important. Age 13, moved from one city to another, and you're the new kid in school, and you know everyone looked at me as the weird new kid, and I was tall and lanky, so that didn't help at all. And we moved from Darwin to Adelaide. Darwin's a very hot place. Adelaide's very cold, so my mom just bought us these pants, and everyone at the time wore these cool Levi's 501s, and I had corduroy jeans from Kmart that every time you
Nice.
walked, they made a sound that was like. So of course, I ended up in trouble with the school because I got in a fight with some kid because he, you know, was giving me heaps about it.
Yeah.
I remember going home thinking, I will never, ever not have enough money to buy anything I ever want ever again. I will always have whatever I need because of that. And so that's why I was always doing something, whether it was mowing people's lawns or whether it was collecting. At those times, you could collect bottles and get money for them. And so I'd collect bottles. My brother and I remember we would go. My dad was a big horse race fan, so we'd go to the horse races, and me and him would just take 5 trash bags and collect all the cans and get all the cash from
Yeah,
type
nice.
thing. And, you know, that was us. But when I went into the first business, I think that the number of times people looked at me as too young, and I spun that on its head, and I said, you know, youth is power. Being young is what makes me powerful. I'm more flexible, more knowledge about new stuff and all that, because I was one of the first people I knew that had a cell phone. You know, I mean, the first cell phone was invented in 73 and it didn't become popular until the 90s.
Chunky thing.
But, oh, very chunky. But, you know, you sit back and you look at it and you think, you know, there's always going to be people that doubt you. There's always going to be people that question you. And let's be blunt, you have to grow into your goals. The reason is it's a goal is you don't know how to achieve it. If you knew how to achieve it, it's not a goal, it's a to-do list item. So you want to achieve your goals, you have to learn and grow, and you have to learn from people who've done what you want to do. You have to learn from people who've been there before you. And as you learn and as you grow, your goal becomes real. I set a goal of retiring financially when I was 25. So at 16, I said, I'm going to retire by 25, financially retire. Everyone told me, not possible, can't do it, not possible. My friend's dad sat me down and specifically lectured us on how it doesn't work that way. And I'm reading stuff that tells me, no, I can do this. I'm reading these books. I'm seeing stories of people that have done this. And so I think, you know what? I'm going to do it too. And I missed it by 1 year. It was 26 before I could financially retire and never have to work again for the rest of my life. But, you know, when your investments are paying for your life and your businesses run without you and make you money, whether you go in or not, you realize you learned the right things. And at 16, I couldn't achieve that. I didn't know what to do at 16, but I knew I could learn. I knew I could grow. I knew I could become the person that would achieve those goals. And that's where I think all of our Yes members, all of the people that join Yes are like that. They know that they can learn and grow. They're willing to put in the mental work so that they don't have to do the physical work till they're 75 or whatever age.
And what I love about the program is what you just talked about there is what a lot of young entrepreneurs and people coming into the space now, it's very much about that fast cash, and it's very about that, you know, how can I make some money now? And what the Yes Club talks about is how to build an asset, how to build a business that pays you every day, every week, every month without you working in it, right? Which is the reason why everyone goes into business in the first place, is to get that kind of natural reward. You at 16 already had the vision of passive income to the point where you didn't have to work. Without that, do you think you would have been as successful if you hadn't had that goal?
I don't know. I don't know is the real answer. I imagine yes, because I was keeping learning and keeping growing and keeping studying type thing. Early mentor of mine said, if you want to be successful, you just got to learn more than the next guy. If you know more than you can't out earn me until you out learn me type thing. You got to learn what to do. And this is why you see people who win millions in the lottery, they end up broke because they didn't learn money. They don't understand money. They don't understand how business works, how money works, how investing works. And the crazy, stupid thing, and this, Josh, school doesn't teach you any of this fundamental stuff that you need to be successful. And that's why I built Yes, because I wanted to leave school and run my own business, but everyone told me that wasn't the thing to do. And I want people to know that you can leave school and start your own business. In fact, you can be in school, start your own business. And there's nothing that you can't do. You can employ people when you're 13. 13, you can give people a job. There's no rule against it. And this is the craziness of our society, where we forget that we all started as small business people. You go back to 1900, everyone was a small business person. Everyone had their own farm or their own cottage industry or their own little thing. No one worked for big companies back then. It wasn't until the 30s, 40s, and 50s that everyone started working for big companies. And that just became the thing. I think right now, and we're not all going to be Zuckerbergs, and anyone who thinks that is kind of a little bit crazy, because look, 1 in a billion of us comes up with a Facebook. The rest of us come up with great businesses that make millions of dollars, and we're pretty dang happy with that. I remember, now Action Coach runs in 80 something countries. It does 9 figures a year. And I'm in that point, but I wasn't always there. I had to read every book I could, study everything I could. And, if you're watching this and you haven't yet applied to the Yes Foundation, apply now at the ActionCOACHFoundation.org and get on the program and start learning. Show it to your parents. Let them watch this video if you need to, but take it to your school as well. Get your business teacher at school to watch this. We'd love the entire school to be learning the Yes program.
We're gonna have some of the youngest employers. We're gonna have some of the youngest employers in the world, I think, hopefully coming out of this program.
I can't see any reason why we don't make 1 million small businesses over the next 10, 20 years, because let's face it, young people don't have all of the built up crazy stuff in their head about what you can't do. You know what? If I can do it and Josh can do it, then you can do it. Absolutely. No more complex than that. If the two of us sitting here can do it, you can follow our steps, and you can be the next Yes ambassador for bringing on more young people, because you've been out there and you've built a business where you got 20, 30 employees and you're doing all the stuff. And that's what you want to do.
100%. And you talk about the whole thing about Zuckerberg, and when we're talking online to people and everyone's thinking, how am I going to be the next XYZ and create this next thing? And where I had to bring people when I talk to people is, if you had a business that even spat off a few $1,000s a month in profit, and you invested that and you compounded that over time, you're still going to be richer than everyone around you. If you have the ability to save and invest your profit and compound that into new things. And that's something, again, that the Yes Club and everything that we'll be doing will teach you, is how to compound even $10 a week. It really does turn into something magical. I mean, like, you look at if I could just comprehend some of the spreadsheets I made when I was 17, 18 years old, in terms of now, it's like I did a 50-year one, right? And I was like taking myself to billions of dollars. And it's like, that's what we want to get people doing, is thinking about, long periods of time, and how can we create things that are going to be creating income and cash that we can then reinvest and turn into real business people. That's what we're going to have from the Yes Club, real business people.
That's the cycle of money, and understanding the cycle of money, it's learn, earn, return. So first of all, you got to learn about money, then you got to earn the money, and then you got to invest the money so you can then be a philanthropist and give back to things, because you're making so much money, you don't need it all, and the churn before you burn mentality. Most people think that, well, I've made this money, I can spend it. No, the idea of money is the money you make is not yours to spend. The money you make is yours to invest. The returns off your investment is yours to spend. And if we can just educate people about business and educate people about money, if you're watching this, you need to learn money. Otherwise, money runs your life. If you don't master money, it masters you. If you don't master business, it keeps going back to, if you don't, either you employ people to build your dreams or you end up employed by someone to build their dreams. Jobs and learn. If you've got a few different jobs and you're learning, that is probably the best thing you can possibly do. There's so many great things to learn. I was glad that I got paid to learn sales. I worked for someone else and they taught me sales. I worked for someone else, they taught me marketing. Those jobs were brilliant at getting my knowledge up so that when I went into business myself, I already had sales knowledge, already had marketing knowledge. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if I can get a job where, and that's the real important thing of a job, you get paid to learn, not to earn. It's not about how much money you make in those early jobs. It's how much you can learn in those early jobs. Who is your mentor, and that sort of thing. And that's why our foundation and the YES program in particular is really about helping you learn and become a more valuable entrepreneur for yourself and for your friends. And lead the way. Grab some friends, get some friends on this thing so you can study together.
Super excited to see everyone go on this. It's going to be unbelievable, and hopefully we're going to see we will see many, hopefully millions of small businesses coming out of it. And on that kind of note of, these guys are coming through the YES program because we are going to create entrepreneurs. We are going to create people that are going to want to start a business, right? So they're going to come out and they're going to be like fresh. They're going to be, big brains from listening to you talk to them over these videos, Brad. And let's let them know what kind of was your first real operation where you thought, wow, this is I'm doing this now. What was that kind of first business?
Yeah. So, my first crazy little business was doing paper routes, where I employed friends to do paper routes. But then, I got into the pizza business, manufacturing and wholesaling pizzas. And I did that with my buddy Joseph, and we had a great business. We were doing real well out of it. And so every one of those businesses just became a training ground for the next one. And I think that's the thing. Today I sit here, I've launched two tech startups in the last 6-9 months during COVID. I've bought another 2 companies in the last year and a half, sold one. And that's ultimately where I want these people to be thinking, to be entrepreneurs, to be great value builders, to, there's so much that we can do out there and learn. And,
is there anything that you do differently this a second time around?
I'd go faster. I'd go faster.
What do you mean by that? How would you go faster?
I think in the beginning, being young, I kind of doubted myself. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I just I didn't trust my own intuition, didn't trust my own gut. And so, I think I would have done better if I had really just trusted my own intuition and gone faster.
And is that faster with growth? Is that faster with, raising, selling? What is it? What kind of speed would it be?
Probably all of the above.
Okay.
There were times when I just sort of sat there and said, "Oh, we're growing too fast. We can't keep growing at this rate." And we could have easily kept growing at that rate. But it was like, I tried to talk myself out of it type thing. Or not, I tried to. I did talk myself out of it at certain times. And I allowed other people to talk me out of it at certain times. So it really comes down to, in my mind, trusting yourself. I think if I'd learned a few more things early, especially about the financial side of my business, I probably would have done better faster. But look, ultimately, start as soon as you can and learn as much as you can as early as you can, because the sooner you learn it, the better it is.
And learn how money works, right? And
learn business, learn life, and learn money. The business skills, the life skills, and the financial investing skills are 3 things you got to pick up at some point.
So a couple of these people on this they're going to say, well, it was different then. It was easier then. You could run a business much easier
It's
then. What
easier
would you say? What
now.
would you say to them? I know I keep getting this question.
Absolutely not.
I'm like, they keep saying, oh, it's so
Absolutely
hard
not.
now.
Oh, look, back then you needed an office, you needed desks, you needed I mean, let me age myself here. You needed a landline to get your internet.
I thought you
I
were
mean,
going
the
to say
internet was
lantern.
just
Lantern. Yeah,
not quite that old, buddy. Not quite that old.
yeah.
49 going 50. I'm okay though.
Messing.
Um,
Landline.
you needed so many different things back then. Today, you need a phone. And that's really
Laptop.
it.
You
You
just need
can
a phone.
start an
Yeah,
entire
laptop.
you don't even need a laptop anymore. I mean, you can start an entire business on your phone. There's so many businesses you can start so easy. You can be a drop shipper off Amazon. So many businesses, and it's just so dang easy for people today. And, but then again, next generation after us is also going to say, oh, it was easier back when
Easier
you
then.
did it. And
Yeah.
we're going to say, no, it's easier the way you've got it. So,
Well, hopefully.
every generation says it was easier for the previous or harder for the next. And every generation complains. I see that all the time. It's like, well, this generation doesn't work. No, they work differently to you do. They work in an entirely different way. You see them just sitting there playing on their phone, playing on social media. Yeah, that gal just made $250,000 on social media. So yeah, she's playing on social media. All right. And this is the craziness of it. The work keeps changing. The process and the features keep changing. So, I think that's an important aspect to remember, that we're never, when you listen to a different generation teach you, they mean well, by the way. They're not trying to tell you that because they're nasty or anything. They mean well. The challenge is they don't get the way the world has shifted and changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same thing in any situation. The same thing for an Instagram person who's going to, make $250,000 on a post. It's the same thing back in the day, let's say 10 years ago when you wanted to start a website, or 20 years ago when you wanted to start a wholesale operation. The fundamentals are the same. Business does not change. And if we just learn those fundamentals, we can apply it to what's available right now, the technology, what's available right now. And that is what the program is going to do. It's going to allow people to, I would have demolished this program when I was 18. Like, I read every single book of yours in uni within a month or two, and came to every seminar, and had to volunteer to go and watch Robert Kiyosaki and everyone because I couldn't afford it. But now they can just do it all on YouTube and just go and just or go through this program, and it's like all there from start to finish. And I hope that we've excited the listeners a little bit to kind of sign up and get this done.
I think not just excited, buddy, also validated. I want some people watching this to realize that you're not crazy.
Yeah.
This is actually capable of happening. This is possible to happen for you. You don't have to sit there and think, oh, I can't do this. I'm crazy. I'm weird. No, if you want to be a business owner and you want to be an entrepreneur, I don't care how old you are, start learning now. The earlier you start learning, the better it's going to be. And one day you'll be me sitting here on this call, or you'll be Josh sitting here on this call, talking about your success and how many employees you got now, buddy?
It's 50 maybe.
Yeah. And you sit there and you think about that.
It's wild.
It is. I mean, it's wild to be young, successful, and doing that. But there is no age when it comes to business success. There is no age limit, no minimum, no maximum. You can be successful in business at any age, as long as you put in the time, energy, and effort, and you learn what you're doing. You don't just mess it all up. You learn it, follow it through.
Exactly. So go and sign up to the program. We can't wait to join you on one of these webinars very, very soon. We'll be getting everyone together that's on the program, and getting everyone talking and sharing ideas. And we're going to create some amazing stuff out of it. So thank you very much, Brad, for your time.
Any parents watching, please encourage your kids onto this. It might be different to what you did. It might not be the same as you having a job your entire life, but encourage them. If they have an entrepreneurial flair, get them going on it. Encourage them to do that. Any school teachers watching, any school principals or headmasters watching, please encourage all of the kids in your business classes to come and join the YES program, or have the whole school join in. We really want to
Yeah.
help as many kids and as many young people become great entrepreneurs out there.
Absolutely. So just go ahead to actioncoachfoundation.org or just click the link in the bio for this video and you'll be able to sign up. Super easy. Thanks so much, Brad.
Hey, Josh, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
No worries, man.